Anthropocentric thinking, cognitive bias. The phrase anthropocentric thinking is described in cognitive psychology as the inclination to reason about new biological species or processes by analogy to humans. It's tempting to compare one's own experience of being human to other biological systems, and reasoning by comparison is an appealing thinking method. Because death is widely regarded as unfavorable, it may be tempting to believe that death at the cellular level or elsewhere in nature is also unfavorable, whereas in reality programmed cell death is an essential physiological phenomenon, and ecosystems also rely on death. Anthropocentric thinking, on the other hand, might lead to people under-attributing human features to other organisms. For example, it's easy to make the mistake of supposing that an animal that is completely different from humans, such as an insect, does not share biological traits like reproduction or blood circulation. Developmental psychologists interested in the relevance of anthropocentric thinking to biology instruction have primarily researched it in young children, usually up to the age of 10. In Japan, children as young as 6 years old have been observed attributing human features to creatures they are unfamiliar with, such as bunnies, grasshoppers, or tulips. Although little is known about its endurance in later life, there is evidence that this pattern of human exceptionalist thinking can endure at least through young adulthood, even among students who have received an increasing amount of biological education. The idea that anthropocentric thinking is a fundamental human trait has been debunked by a study of American children living in metropolitan surroundings, who show it as an acquired perspective between the ages of 3 and 5. The use of anthropocentric thinking by children appears to differ depending on their experience of nature and cultural preconceptions about humans' place in the natural world. For example, young children who maintained goldfish thought of frogs as being more goldfish-like, but other children thought of frogs as being more human-like. Because of their increased acquaintance with different species of animals and plants, children raised in rural contexts appear to utilize anthropocentric thinking less than their urban counterparts. Anthropocentric thinking was found to be ineffective in studies with youngsters from some of the America's indigenous peoples. A study of children from the Wichi people in South America found that they tended to think of living organisms in terms of perceived taxonomic similarities, ecological considerations, and animistic traditions, resulting in a much less anthropocentric view of the natural world than many children in Western societies. Why it matters? Is value only found in humanity, or does it also exist in other forms of life? Tim Hayward published Anthropocentrism, a Misunderstood Problem in 1997. In it, Hayward and others sidestep this fundamental dilemma by reframing anthropocentrism as a broad compassion and humane caring for people, rather than an ideology that views human beings to be the most significant entity in the universe. This is a complete obliteration of meaning. Hayward is not referring to people who criticize anthropocentrism for being solely concerned with ourselves. As a result, attempting to restore anthropocentrism using this new definition is a sleight of hand intended to fool the public. As a civilization, we must decide whether we want to insist that all value and ethics are limited to mankind, or whether, as ecocentrism believes, worth and ethics are found in all species on Earth. Anthropocentrism is an arrogant and solipsistic worldview that is focused primarily with humans. Humans, on the other hand, adore animals, trees, rivers, and landscapes, and many indigenous cultures valued and respected them, Knudsen and Suzuki 1992. Anthropocentrism is definitely a driving force behind ecocide and the environmental disaster, as society has been obsessed with the concept human world, ignoring the fact that humanity is, in the end, completely reliant on nature. Washington 2013. Anthropocentrism will not take us to a future that is sustainable. Ecocentrism, on the other hand, recognizes that we are a part of nature and that we have a responsibility to respect the web of life and repair the damage created by anthropocentrism's ideological domination. Washington et al. 2017 A, B. In our channel, We will explore as many types of cognitive biases that are possible to gain a better understanding of how our brains sometimes trick themselves. Subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon and you will be able to watch our videos as soon as we release them. Like this video and share with your friends and impress them with your knowledge.